Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. We're not in Kansas anymore. Get the sun out. We had to do a road trip. And if you go to the Roscoe Diner, the apple pie comes with a Jaguar 500. This will be interesting. I told you guys I was never going to get another one of these, but I did. I managed to get the Jaguar home. Boy, this beast is heavy. And this beast is big. This is the biggest all-terrain vehicle I've brought home so far from a dimensional point of view, from a footprint point of view. This is the first all-terrain vehicle that I couldn't close the tailgate. The tailgate hit the tires and wouldn't close all the way. At the same time, the back tires were up against here and wouldn't go back any further. So once again, this is the biggest monster here at the Hoard currently. This thing is part of a 2 all-terrain vehicle deal. The second one has not come home yet. I already brought it in. Well, I stopped, didn't bring it in. I went to the car wash just to kind of show you guys I cleaned it up. So frequently I bring these home and then I regret it once they're off the truck because I didn't wash them, right? So I took a few minutes to wash this. Also gave the Tacoma a little bit of a bath while I was there. Anyway, I'm going to keep making the video, but my big goal was to just give it a quick look. I got to roll it off. Currently, I do not have a battery in it, so I can't start it, but we'll get it off the truck, and then from there we'll figure out what to do with it. If you're going to buy an all-terrain vehicle, you really need to go to the Roscoe Diner to do it. And here we are. The next one has just joined the Hoard. Can you say Kodiak? Tubers, let's talk about buying all-terrain vehicles by the truckload. The 2 Honda TRX 300 EXs, this Jaguar, and the Kodiak here, the Kodiak just came home, all came from the same place. This is a Kodiak 400, obviously, and a Kodiak 400 frame with some spare parts. They all came from the same place. What they are is motorcycle all-terrain vehicle shop rejects. For whatever reason, the person who owns the shop brought them in on trade-in. You got to fix this for me, and whatever transpired, he ended up giving them money toward trading on a new one, or they said, you know what, just keep it. Whatever the story was, these were all rejects. These were things he did not want for whatever reason. It looks like this 300EX donated some parts towards some other projects, perhaps. The other one that's out back and running now didn't donate any parts, but it was well taken apart. I think at some point he had some hopes for that machine. This is a Jaguar. A Jaguar, I guess, is kind of a Polaris clone. Let me show you the front of it. Anyway, he took this in and sold the person another all-terrain vehicle. When he brought it in, my understanding was this thing wasn't running. He got it running, and then he said to himself, you know what, I can't get parts for it or anything else, so if I sell it, remember, if a shop sells something, normally the people want some kind of guarantee, you know, if it breaks, I'm going to bring it back, that kind of stuff. And he didn't want to get involved with that. Let me show you the back also. So he just decided to sell it off at a reasonable cost. And then this guy here, somebody decided to drive it under the influence and they very much crashed it. And when you get into a crashed machine, frequently there's more wrong with it than you know. I mean, they managed to even break the top of the shock off, right? So this wasn't a real make-believe crash. Somebody did a good job. He did find another machine, right, which appears to have everything that would be necessary for the repairs. But I guess once again, he did the math, and the numbers didn't work out in such a way that he decided that he was going to put it together. As you're working on something like this, one could easily put 20 hours into swapping the good to the better frame. Then after you do that, you got money tied up in this and whatever you paid for this. Remember, you got a broken fender here, right? And I'm sure that Kodiak front fender isn't a freebie. I did manage to get the piece that goes with it. And I also, these front tires, the front tire that was on the crashed side is missing, though these are both, I'm going to use the right front tires from a size point of view. You could see the tread differs. Four-wheel drives, you really want to get the tire size correct. These tires, though they match, and they're not bad-looking tires, they're not the right size for the machine. The bigger ones from back there should be on it. So I guess if you stop and think of it, it could be pretty common to, if you own a business. I had a friend who had a business. He was part of his brother's towing service, and he fixed all-terrain vehicles. And he really ran into a situation where he found his shop and storage all clogged up with, either friends who brought an all-terrain vehicle over to be fixed, and when it was fixed, suddenly they didn't have the money for the parts and labor, so he kind of held on to the all-terrain vehicle, and now it was like, well, if I sell this all-terrain vehicle, they're going to be mad at me because I sold their all-terrain vehicle, but I'm mad at them because I'm stuck with this all-terrain vehicle. He actually got frustrated enough where he gave up the business. So I think if you own an all-terrain vehicle shop, you got to figure out pretty quickly, friend or foe, after 30, 60, 90 days, you got to pay the bill, or you got to, come and haul your thing away because you haven't choked up for the parts, and you're not going to put out for the parts until they pay for them, and it's got to go. I could almost picture the philosophy of, your all-terrain vehicle needs the following. Tell you what, give me $500 for parts, and I'll get started, and then I'll hit you for the labor when you come back. And by the way, 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever, it becomes mine. So if you're not back within that period of time, I'm going to sell it, and that's what's going to pay my labor costs. So anyhow, so that's the story on the three of them, or five of them, I guess there is, right? The two Hondas, the Jag, and this pair of Yamahas. One is just a VIN, and the other one's obviously complete. How much money do I have invested? You guys remember the two ATC 200Ms. They came from the same person. They had two different prices. If you add them up, the two of those up, it was less than this and this. Oh no, it was more than this and this. These cost less than that. Now what's the plan? I believe I just have to put a battery into this guy and it'll run. I got to go through it a little bit. Like, what is that missing thing right there? Right, it's not the right side to be the recoil, and I don't think this thing has a recoil on it. Right? Recoil's on this side, so it's the wrong side for the recoil. So I'm not quite sure what the story on that is. Until I put a battery to it, I can't see how many miles this has on it. I got to do some research, figure out what the story is on getting parts. If they cop the same motor, it says 500 cc's, which means it's anywhere between 401 cc's and 495 cc's. I doubt it's exactly 500 on the nose. So yeah, I'm not exact. I don't know what's underneath this, but the tiny little bit of research I did, these things were like $3,500, $4,000 all-terrain vehicles, new. And there are people who have all the same reactions to these as I will tell you you'll get on China all-terrain vehicles. The initial price, the purchase price, is reasonable. Some of them need work. They normally don't do as good a job with the switches as the stuff made in Japan. So a lot of times you find yourself with electrical problems. Depending on what you get, for the 110cc, 125cc stuff, very easy to get parts. There's a million of them out there. For this guy, I took a quick look on eBay. You could get the electric starter and a couple of other small things, but there really weren't any parts on eBay. So if you do something silly to the motor or transmission, torque converter, any of that kind of stuff, I'm not sure if one could get parts for it. I'm not sure if they're Polaris parts that go on this. My guess is there might be some interchangeability, but that's a guess. I don't know. This guy here, seeing as it kind of came with everything, to repair it, as I just hope there are no surprises here. So I'm going to have to kind of go through it and see if we can't get it started, and then hopefully things are good. Looks like they're both water buffaloes, right? See the radiator and hoses. I generally don't like water buffaloes. I don't have anything against the animal, but in an all-terrain vehicle, being water-cooled adds another level of complexity. Your water could leak out on the ground. Your water could leak into your engine and toast it. It's something else that could, go wrong. It could overheat. If you got a fan in there, now you have all the electronics to do with the cooling fan, and this one does have a cooling fan. So generally speaking, I'm not in love with water buffaloes of the all-terrain vehicle style. It's just another whole load of trouble. And for the Chinese version, now you have weak electronics, and you really need to keep that fan going, right? You really don't want to overheat your motor. So that's why I'm not in love with them. The deal was right. I bought it. I hope to get it running. I hope to use it a little bit. Some people wrote in saying they use these to plow driveways up in Michigan, and they live through it. So you have that experience. Another guy wrote in, I bought mine 6 months ago. I think he indicated he got it new, and out of the last 6 months, it's been in the shop a dozen times. I don't know. You don't know what the guy did to it, or maybe he just happened to get a lemon, or maybe it wasn't quite as new as he thought it was. Maybe it was exposed to something it should have been exposed to before he got it. So there we are. I bought some water buffaloes. Anyway, I hope you guys are looking forward to the videos. I don't want to get into each one of them too deeply. I probably talked about this one more than I should have. The deal, I made the deal up at the Roscoe Diner. My buddy was nice enough to transport these this far for me. Saved a lot of driving, right? He did half the driving, I did the other half. Made life easier. Really no problem, just some traffic today. Yesterday was cool, but a lot of traffic today, especially on the way back. A lot of silly driving out there. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Just people changing lanes and doing strange things without like looking, or driving across 3 lanes, or stuff flying off their cars. Not me, but other people have stuff flying off. So yeah, it was just the ride today was, particularly the ride home, was difficult. It's like it started to rain, I guess, which gave people a reason to lose their minds. So enough talking. I got to get inside and get on with my day. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. I think you all need to get out there and save an all-terrain vehicle. Pay attention to what you buy, but go out and get something. They're fun. I need y'all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.